Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another creepy book club. Oh god, it's been so damn long since I've done a creepy book club, has it? Maybe it hasn't been that long, I don't know. But god, they've been so they've been so far and few between lately. When I was in school and everything and at Hellbred, I just did not have time to read for fun. It took me forever to get through one book, which drove me crazy because I can get through a book so fast when I want to. Yeah, so recently I've been rereading one of my favorite series, and I thought, why not talk about it, because it definitely fits into horror, got supernatural elements to it, it's very witchy. And I just have to share it with you guys. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this series a couple times before, and it is the Sweep series. I can't figure out how I'm gonna hold this. This is a mess. The Sweep series by Kate Tiernan, who is one of my absolute favorite authors. I've read every single thing that this woman has written, and I love it all. I own all of her series. She has a few other series, although not as long as the Sweep series, but still very good. Basically, the Sweep series follows our main character, Morgan, who discovers she is the descendant of a very long line of witches and discovers that she has power of her own. Obviously leads her into discovering the world of magic, good and bad. Right. So what I like about the Sweep series, I mean, I do definitely have a bias because this series holds a very special place in my heart. I started reading these books probably when I was like 11 or 12 or something like that. Definitely like preteen through middle school, in the beginning of high school. Me and my best friend at the time used to share the books, so either we would check them out from the library and one of us would read the next one and then give it to the next person, or we'd buy one at like the book fair or something and give it to the other one when we were done. So you might have seen an Instagram post a while ago that I finally got my hands on every single book in this series, because I only had about half of the series from sharing it with my friend. So now I have all of them. Yeah, there's a lot, although they are not, each one is not that thick. So I mean, this one's not even 200 pages. So on average, they're about 180 pages. So they're not super long reads. Like, you can get through each one pretty quickly. I do really love them. And it features a really strong, at times hard-headed protagonist, but she's also really naive as she gets thrust into this world, obviously, that she didn't know existed. In that sense, she was really relatable to me. That's what I really like about her character. And she's not one of those wimpy, never does anything, relies on her, you know, opposite male lead to save her all the time. That's definitely not the case with Morgan. So she's super relatable, and I think she's a really good role model for any younger reader. She was certainly a good role model for me as I was growing up and reading these. At the start of each chapter, you read like an excerpt from one of the characters' Book of Shadows, and you start to learn their handwritings too, which is really interesting. So that kind of brings me into, while this book is supernatural in nature, it does take a lot from Wiccan practices, so hence the Book of Shadows, like excerpts at the beginning. So it could be even, there's some from like the villain's Book of Shadows, from Morgan's, from Hunter's, who it ends up being the male lead eventually. So that's really cool, and it like kind of helps move the overall story along, reading from these books of shadows. So that's really cool. The only thing I really don't like about the Sweep series is, where is it? The final book in the installment called Night's Child. It's the longest book of the series. It's about 300 pages long. It's about double the size of all the other books. But I don't know, it takes place kind of far in the future for Morgan. She's like almost in her 40s in this, while she starts off as a high schooler. I love how I'm holding up this one, and this is like the 14th and the 15th one. It's not even the first book. But she starts off as a high schooler in the series, and it doesn't take you all the way through until she gets here. There's definitely a jump in time between the 14th book and the 15th book. And it just wasn't, I don't know, I feel like I was okay maybe if like she had just resolved it a little more in the 14th and just ended it there. I would have been okay with that. I really didn't need this. There is basically the conflict that starts what happens in this book. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to give anything away. Literally made me chuck this book against the wall. Actually, it wasn't this book. This is one of the ones I acquired later, but the original one that I did have, which was my friend's copy, chucked it across the room, smack into the wall, and I think I made like a little bit of a dent right into the wall because I was so mad. And I didn't pick it up for like 2 weeks because I was just so upset. And then eventually I finished it, but it was more like pulling teeth. Yeah. But that's really the only thing I don't like about it, and I still have gone back and read this, so you know, it's whatever. So obviously if you follow me on Goodreads, you would know I give this a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this series and highly recommend it to basically anybody. Reads on average, it's got a 4 out of 5, you know, average rating from all the users, so come on, it's a good one. Right. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have read the Sweep series, let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. I would love to hear what you think. I really, besides my friend that I read this with so long ago, I don't know anybody else that's read this series personally. So if you're out there, please, there's a Sweep fan right here. Please come talk to me about it. Yeah, so if you're new here, subscribe and become a creepy peep today. I post new videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.